Hi guys. So today I'm going to walk you through my colors because I don't do that very often. This is the DecoArt Copper, and I'm adding water to all my colors because I made them the night before. If you ever want to make your colors the night before, you totally can. Just cover the cups with little plastic wrap and you're good to go. I don't like to make my colors ahead of time because I don't like washing out the bottles. I live in a very old house and I can't have all that paint down my sewer. So this is the way that I get to basically just work with the colors that I feel inspired to work with at the moment. And they don't get old. I don't risk any kind of molding or any weird smells or anything like that. And I just feel like they're very fresh to work with. So this is how I do mine. One advantage to making them the night before is they off-gas all the bubbles from mixing. However, they also they can thicken up overnight, especially if it's hot in your living room or in your studio. And that's what happened here. Is it's been kind of warm here, so it's been a little hot. I had to go back and add a little bit of water to everything to make the right consistencies. I'm working with a lot of earthy tones today, and really this is my attempt to combine greens and reds together. And if you know anything about color theory, green and red make brown, or gray. And so when you combine greens and reds together, you have to definitely do it in a certain way in order to get them to play nice with each other. And that is what I did today. So there's a couple of methods you can do. The method I'm going to use today is called basically a puddle pour. I'm just doing the puddle inside of a shovel, so I have control over how it ends up on the canvas, and I don't have to necessarily tilt it off, and that's why I covered the sides. I used black and a deep brown all the way around the edges of the canvas, and I did that so I don't have to tilt my pattern off if I don't feel like it. And then you'll notice how I'm layering the colors. I do all the dark browns. I work into the reds because brown and reds go perfect together. Then I add a layer of white, then blue, and then I'll work through all the blues and then gold because blue and gold work well together. So when I layer the colors, I think about the two colors that are going to touch. And that's one way to really think about, whether it's in a cup or not, you think about the two colors that are next to each other and how they're going to play together if they do mix. So when you're doing something like copper and green and you don't want to get that muddy, yucky brown color, you can layer colors in between called transition colors, and those colors help each one transition into the other, and that could be gold, white, black, silver, or you can just mix two colors together to start the transition process. So that's probably something I should do a whole video on now that I'm thinking of it, because it's really, color theory is not the kind of thing you can just explain in a couple minutes. Isn't that pretty? I love seeing how it pulls the surface tension of the canvas is just basically grabbing onto the paint, and I'm just letting it grab the design and pull it out of the shovel. love it. I know it's so kind of 70s looking, but I just really like the colors and they turn out really vibrant. Literally do not know how that popsicle stick got in there like that. But I've been thinking lately about there's me thinking about what I'm going to do actually, because I've been doing a lot of my little flowers and my balloon rolled flowers, and I do love doing those and they're extremely fun. But in this one I really wanted some bold and bright definitive lines, so that's why I chose this method. And I also like to push myself sometimes to do things that are outside of my comfort zone. One of them is making reds and greens work together. So here's another example. See how I just layer my colors, like the blue and greens and golds all kind of go together, and white, you know, those are going to be beautiful together. And then I start again after the white. I'll start with the reds. And even when you're doing a cup, like a dirty pour, the way that you layer them into the cup, you should also think this way. And this will help you avoid the muddy, dark layers, the murkiness in your pores. Oh, I'm gonna do it again. I just love this. Now at this point, like, I have no plan, just so you know. I really have no plan. And the paint, the amount of paint that I put on this 16 by 20 canvas is not enough that I really need to tip it or tilt it very much. There's a little space in there that didn't get covered by my shovel, so I'm gonna cover it up, but that's gold, by the way. I'm using a soft gold that Deco Art makes, which I really like. It kind of gives almost a silver shimmer effect when it dries. Now, I did not use silicone when I swiped. Look at that. I love that. That's like my favorite part. I just want to preserve those beautiful, that peacock looking sort of color up there with the blue and the green. I just think it's so pretty. So right now I'm trying very hard to preserve that part of the painting, because in my mind it's one of the best things about this painting. And then just adding some composition to it. So I started doing my balloon rolls on this one and it was really challenging. I kept just getting muddy results. I don't know. Sometimes I think that the paint has to be almost partially dried, if that, like, not dried, but it does need to like set up a little bit. But it's just getting muddy. I just keep adding more and more colors and it just is not working out. So here's my fix. I just make another spatula shovel with some more of my colors and I just cover the flower up. Because I have to do something. And there's actually part of me that just loves the way this looks after I do this, and I really wanted to leave it, especially on camera. It just looks, look at that, it's really beautiful, but the center where the flower was is very muddy. That's one thing that's happening for sure. And then that soft gold almost turned muted with over the black. So that gold that I'm just adding is some of the golden fluid acrylic gold, my favorite gold. So it should be pretty bright. Here is a close-up, and I did keep working and my camera died. There's the flower that I ended up doing on this one. Eventually, it took a long time. I worked on this painting for 3 hours, people. 3 hours. But look at the beautiful, look at that gold. I love that right there. Look at the results and how shimmery everything is. Sorry for my thumb. I really was impressed with the ending. And I'm so glad I kept going and didn't just scrape it off, which is, I swear, half my paintings lately, I just want to scrape them off at some point. So, thank you so much for liking, commenting, subscribing, and oh, I love that part right there. Isn't that pretty? And then look, this cute, tiny little dendrite formed at the very, very, very bottom when it dried. So now the flower has that cute little dendrite at the bottom. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so I can make more art videos for you.